I'm in New York, and I'm so overwhelmed with information coming through. And it is a bit like going from a yoga class and being thrown into a rock concert. It was so overstimulating. On a psychic level, it was really tough. Clients schedule readings to my manager because I never want to know anything about where I'm going or who I'm going to read.
So going to this reading, I'm going to really have to rely on the information that comes through when I meet the client and when I'm sitting down with them. That means that I'm going to have to enter a meditative space to some extent going into it, so I can try to get rid of any energy that's due to my surroundings and just focus on the client. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Come on in. Come this way.
I love this. Oh my gosh. And cupcakes.
Welcome. Exactly.
Thank you.
I'm Jennifer Esposito. So nervous. He may know me from shows like Samantha Who and Blue Bloods and movies like Crash and Summer Sam. He may not know me at all. I have no idea. But I'm thrilled to meet him. So excited.
I'm so excited too. Thank you for having me.
We're in my bakery. I created this crazy little spot. It's in the East Village in Manhattan, and it's called Jennifer's Way Bakery. And I'm glad that he's meeting me here. This is the heart and soul of many years for me. So it's wonderful that we're meeting here.
Before I start this process, I always kind of like to describe how I do what I do and just kind of let you know how the process works. Today when I got to the door, the woman introduced herself as Jennifer, but I didn't initially recognize her. She was so lovely, and immediately I felt a connection. Throughout this process, my goal is just really to get information that's going to be specific and valid to you.
I'd love to know what direction to go. There's a lot of big question marks right now for me, but I'd also love to connect with someone who passed, so whatever he has to say, I'll be willing to listen.
Let's see where we go with this, because I'm getting pulled in a couple different directions. Okay. What's interesting is that I have a fatherly figure that's like insisting to pop in, and he comes through very clearly. I immediately feel like I have to talk about mom's side of family. For whatever reason, I'm getting a pull in that direction, and he is acknowledging mom and then referencing to you. Do you know, it's kind of personal, do you know where the alcoholic is in that mix?
Yeah, my mom's father.
Father,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
I'm connecting, definitely on that end.
Okay.
When he comes through, he's acknowledging that he's changed since he's passed for the better in some ways. Again, I have to reference because he's having me acknowledge mom and acknowledging change, and he's acknowledging a reference to being with mom. The message with this for her would just be basically an acknowledgement of a feeling like I've changed. There's an acknowledgement of a bit like I dealt with a drinking issue. He takes accountability for that, but then he also, feels okay in the way that this went. He ultimately acknowledges that he feels like, for the most part, people have had closure. It doesn't seem to be a huge situation as much as it was just a small part of an overall good man in the way that this comes across. You know what I mean? So he didn't want that one thing to define all of who he was, and that's really important for him. And that's just a message that I have to deliver. Now, did you get to know your grandfather?
Yeah, so he was great, but I knew him after the alcoholism.
Right.
And he was fantastic, but he wasn't always.
Right.
From what I had heard.
Sure, but
So,
he definitely
yeah.
acknowledges mom, and he
Good.
I think it's a really beautiful process when people transition. I think that it gives us perspective when we pass, and that's oftentimes why they're so urgent to say, I'm aware of this, or I know now the impact I made, because that's healing, and sometimes that helps to hear. So hopefully
Absolutely,
we can relay
yeah,
that.
definitely.
Yes.
My mother would love that.
Definitely, awesome.
My grandfather, Joe, he was great. I remember him being great. He was hugely important to me. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that he's around.
Okay, I really have to quickly talk about career. We're here, but there's going to be another one of these. And there's a reference
That's
to
good.
another. And
That's
what's
good.
interesting is I'm referencing I actually kind of want to get career out of the way because we'll talk about this. I honestly think when I'm looking at 2017, I'm referencing kind of close to like May 2017, is when we kind of start seeing another opportunity or an outreach to actually like expand. And that for me would be like 2 locations. That's
Whoa,
great. And I would
awesome.
love that. I'm getting a reference to a cookbook, and then I'm getting a reference to new, and that would be actually a new cookbook.
Okay.
So it would be a new project that I would be seeing. The reference is mid-2017 is when we kind of start seeing this ball rolling.
There's actually something on the table.
Awesome.
I was wondering if the place I'm with right now is the right place to be with.
The thing is with that is we're gonna hit delay after delay after delay, and the way that this happens is actually technically 2 delays, but the encouragement would be to do a switch.
Interesting.
Yes.
Lovely.
But I still see it happening.
Okay, good.
Guys,
okay.
I like that.
have one book that I wrote, and the second one is a treatment, and it is at a publisher, and we're trying to figure out if that's the right place to be.
Now, my goal obviously is always to try to connect, and usually I go through an object with that. I assume this is the object you brought.
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna hold on to it, and
Okay.
we'll see what comes through. All right. Okay.
This is just something that's very special to me. I'm gonna put it down because I'm gonna sob.
Do you have any Franks? Because I have to say Frank.
Yes.
Who's Frank?
Frankie was my golden retriever who just passed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Because he's having me acknowledge, I have to talk about Frank or Frankie.
That's his bow tie.
Wow.
Yeah. He was just the most important thing to me.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow, that was make me emotional. That's
Yeah, Frankie was so important because he's 15 years of the last very up and down, shall we say, and he was there. Every shoot, every relationship, he was just,
Right.
he was there, and he was the solid, and he was always my comfort.
Please know that the feeling that comes across with this is just complete peace.
Good.
And just a deep appreciation
Good.
that comes through with this. I don't feel like there's anything that could have been done
Okay.
in the way this comes across.
That's what I wanted to know.
The acknowledgement is a feeling of like, we're only gonna prolong the inevitable, and we're
Right.
gonna do that, and
That's
the acknowledgement
exactly
is, because this feeling is like, I don't wanna suffer. And there's an appreciation for transitioning and passing away that I have to bring up, because it's like, I'm not in pain, I'm not suffering,
Good.
but that dog's still very much around in there, and
Good.
for sure, so please know that. So, that's so interesting.
And I didn't want to seem like I was tricking you in
No.
any way. He literally just passed 3 weeks ago.
I'm so sorry.
So-
Oh my gosh, well please know he's still around.
Good, good. I think he is. I know
Absolutely.
he is.
One of the things I want to mention is there's an acknowledgement of saving a dog bowl. And then I feel like the reference with this is I'm seeing actually another dog. And I feel like I'm still using the bowl. So did you have more than one dog, but
Yes.
one still uses the
Yes.
same bowl?
Yes.
Yeah, makes
Yes,
sense.
yes.
Because Frankie is with that other
Oh, that's
pet
great.
and very clearly acknowledges that.
Good. He was he was my buddy. Silly, but he was. It's just so sudden to not have that energy in my life right now.
What a unique object.
I used to wear it all
my
the time.
gosh.
I know. I actually had a picture of it up, and I took it down because obviously it's on
Oh,
his
right.
neck. Ridiculous.
Sweetie. Oh my
Yeah, he was a sweet boy.
The love that they connect
Yeah.
with us
Yeah.
is oftentimes so profoundly deep, deeper than even some family.
He really was. Yeah, and then when I touched this, I just feel his energy. So
Well, I definitely did too. He was
Good.
so sweet.
good. And I
What
love
is
that
it?
you got the name perfectly.
Oh, I love it. That was so funny.
That's
So
hysterical.
cool.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
of course.
And of course you can have a cupcake.
Oh, you're so
They
sweet.
are
I
vegan
love
and gluten-free and dairy-free and all.
Oh my
everything
gosh.
free.
Well, then it's perfect.
Soy-free, everything. Yeah. So just sitting with someone for an hour and able to talk about my grandfather, bring up Frankie, or it's just I'm honored that I was able to do. It's just you don't get to do that every day. I think he's quite special person. So just being around it, it's just lovely. Yeah, it definitely will change my days going forward. And just think, after a day like this, it just further confirms what I know. It's just, you just take your lessons and keep moving on, and every little piece of information leads you down the path. Very sweet, very, very sweet. Yeah, it's crazy. The name was spot on.
I had no idea that a bow tie would belong to a dog. What are the odds? And I got a cookie out of it.